Well, up first, let's get you the latest on the preparations ahead of the cyclone making landfall, and 50,000 people from coastal areas of Gujarat have been shifted to temporary shelters ahead of Biparjoy, which is expected to make landfall near Jakhau port in the Kutch district, and that is expected tomorrow evening. A red alert has been issued for the area, and Gujarat Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel held a high-level meeting today evening on the preparations ahead of the cyclone, as dozens of teams are currently on standby. Thousands of people, as we said, in camps. Let's go across to Sohit now, who joins us from Mandvi. And Sohit, tell us more about the preparations. And I can see the wind speed has been picking up. We've seen that through the day. Tell us more about the preparations and red alert in this entire area.
Absolutely, Gargi. In fact, heavy winds is clearly visible where we are right now in Mandvi, and this is hours before the cyclone actually crosses or touches the coast in Gujarat. And yes, for that a lot of work is being done by the administration. Like yesterday we saw how the people who are staying on these very coastlines have been shifted from there. They have been taken or kept in a safe space in schools as well as in other places which are located around 6 or 7 kilometers inside. So from 0 to 5 kilometers, anyone who stays over there have been evacuated. In fact, the hotels, the resorts that are present are shut at the moment. 34,000 evacuation has happened in Gujarat's Kutch itself. There are now 9 towns which have been completely shut down, and as I said, 4,500 people have been shifted from their homes to shelter homes as a precautionary measure. Now what we know is that as the cyclone is set to touch the coast in the next in less than next 24 hours, there is heavy rainfall as well as you could see strong winds, not only over here at Mandvi but also in Dwarka as well as in several other places of Kutch. There is NDRF and other teams, administration, local police, local administration, everyone have been working. In fact, where we are right now, there's police security. No one is allowed to come except the media. There is heavy wind that is blowing over here. And imagine, Gargi, that tomorrow the same will be around 150 kmph is what is being expected. So at that time it will be even more harsh over here. In fact, when I spoke to the NDRF guys, what they had to say is that when the cyclone actually touches the coast, they won't be able to do anything, because at that time they won't be able to do or step out as well. So whatever happens will happen after the cyclone passes away. So this is how the cyclone is right now, or the impact of the cyclone can be seen. Even if you look, I don't know how much the visibility is, but even the sea, the tides in sea is very high. So there is high tide over here. We are at a safe distance obviously from where we are covering this, but yes, the impact of the cyclone is clearly visible on the ground. You can feel the wind, the strong winds, and as well as there is heavy rainfall. However, for the last 15 to 20 minutes the rainfall is not happening, but yes, the impact is there, and that's why the administration has ensured that all those who stay near these coasts have been shifted to temporary safe locations, especially the schools and colleges that are present nearby.
All right, Sohit, you do stay safe. So less than 24 hours for Cyclone Biparjoy to make landfall. 50,000 people currently in relief camps. But it's not just Gujarat that will be affected by the cyclone. In fact, several other states too will be affected. So let's just take a look at how North India is expected to be affected by the cyclone once it makes landfall.
Cyclone Biparjoy will make landfall tomorrow evening between Mandvi in Gujarat and Karachi in Pakistan, and this will happen at between 4 o'clock and 8 o'clock in the evening tomorrow. It will pack in winds of 125 to 135, gusting to 150 kmph at the time of landfall, which basically means that it will be a very severe cyclone at that time. Now, the areas of concerns include Kutch, Devbhoomi, Dwarka, Porbandar, Jamnagar, Rajkot, Junagadh, as well as Morbi districts of Saurashtra and Kutch, where a red alert warning has been issued by the Met Office for tomorrow. Now, post-landfall, the system will move towards Rajasthan as a depression and will bring very heavy rainfall on the 16th and the 17th of June in Jaisalmer, in Bikaner, as well as Jodhpur, along with adjoining areas. Now, the remnants of the cyclone will impact the northwest plains, which includes Delhi, bringing in the much-needed respite as far as the national capital is concerned, which touched 45 degrees yesterday, which felt like 50 degrees, and power consumption peaked, crossing the 7,000 megawatts mark for the very first time this year. Now, the temperature will be down to 36 degrees. That's 4 degrees cooler than usual by the weekend here in the national capital, with rain expected till Sunday, starting tomorrow. Now, the impact of the cyclone is also being felt on the monsoon, where we have seen that monsoon has been stuck as far as Goa is concerned. It hasn't made any movement, especially the central parts of the country. It's remained dry. Monsoon, the progress as far as the central parts are concerned, not the coastal area, that remains in fact on, it hasn't moved as per it should have. By now, monsoon usually reaches Mumbai. It covers Kolkata on the other side. So, this is definitely making some sort of an impact as far as the progress of the monsoon is concerned in central parts of the country before it can head towards the north.
All right, on to the big political story today, and there was high drama in Tamil Nadu after State Minister Senthil Balaji was arrested by the Enforcement Directorate this morning in the Cash for Jobs case. The minister was seen bawling in the car as the Enforcement Directorate took him for a medical checkup. Chief Minister Stalin even visited him in hospital as the DMK called his arrest illegal. The BJP ridiculed the minister, while other opposition leaders like Mamata Banerjee and Mallikarjun Kharge have called the arrest politically motivated.
Tamil Nadu's Power Minister Senthil Balaji broke down as he was wheeled into a government hospital in Chennai after he complained of chest pain early on Wednesday. This after 18 hours of searches at his home and office and interrogation by the Enforcement Directorate. After an angiogram, the medical advice was for a bypass. The court has ordered a fortnight in judicial remand. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin visited Balaji in hospital and called it political vendetta. Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge, West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee and Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal said the action by the ED was politically motivated.
18 hours the Honorable Minister was kept in custody without giving him water, and he has been put into a lot of mental depression. We are fighting it legally. The matter is sub judice.
BJP State Chief Annamalai tweeted out this 2016 video of M.K. Stalin calling Senthil Balaji corrupt. Balaji is accused of taking bribes, promising jobs when he was Transport Minister in Jayalalitha's AIADMK government between 2011 and 2015. Balaji switched to the DMK in 2018 when the cases were booked against him. After Senthil Balaji joined M.K. Stalin's cabinet, he struck a compromise with victim complainants and the Madras High Court stayed all proceedings as he tried to get the FIRs quashed. But last month the Supreme Court said in 2 months the police ought to investigate the corruption charges and the Enforcement Directorate could investigate money laundering allegations.
This is a classic case. It has gone right up to Supreme Court. There is a Supreme Court direction to the Tamil Nadu police to file a new charge sheet including Prevention of Corruption Act in about 2 months. 3 weeks back the judgment came. And then ED's action is continuous because the said people have gone to court, they have taken a stay order against the ED. So you have to understand it is not happening now. This is supposed to happen many years before, right, in 2019, 20, 21, 22. But because of continuous stay orders, after vacating all the stay orders, ED is taking action now. So this is party agnostic.
The AIADMK has distanced itself from Senthil Balaji's actions, saying he had acted in his private capacity. The case against Senthil Balaji embarrasses both the ruling DMK and its arch rival the AIADMK. And seeking to derive political capital in this is the BJP that has a negligible presence in the state but hopes to raise its stature at the cost of regional parties. In Chennai with Suresh, Sam Daniel, Find TV.
Now more legal trouble for Rahul Gandhi. The Congress leader disqualified from Parliament following his conviction in a defamation case has another defamation case filed against him, this time in Karnataka. And his co-accused are Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivkumar, who have all been summoned by the Chief Metropolitan Magistrate. Now the complaint filed by the state BJP secretary on May 9 centers on the 40% corruption allegations in the run-up to the recently concluded assembly election. directions. The complaint says the Congress advertisement that was printed in the newspapers on 5th May claimed the BJP government indulged in 40% corruption. The Calcutta High Court has set up a special investigation team to probe the death of IIT Kharagpur student Faizan Ahmed, who was found dead in his hostel room in October last year. Now, while the IIT Kharagpur has claimed that it was a case of death by suicide, Faizan's parents claim it was murder and accuse the IIT of a cover-up.
After the second post-mortem unveiled new evidence, the Calcutta High Court has set up a special investigation team to probe IIT student Faizan Ahmed's death. The probe team will be headed by senior IPS officer K. Jayaraman, who currently serves as ADG and IGP headquarters. The Calcutta High Court observed that the question is whether the suicide investigation turns into a murder probe.
आज जो हाई कोर्ट में हम लोग का केस का हियरिंग था, उसमें हम लोग को अच्छा रिजल्ट, एक अच्छा खबर मिला है, जो हम लोग, हमारा लॉयर और हम चाहते थे कि एक SIT गठन हो.
The court said all parties must cooperate in the investigation, given the new evidence found in the second post-mortem, which sources say found injuries that were homicidal in nature. The court has also permitted narco analysis tests on anyone the special investigation team believes could be involved in Faizan Ahmed's death.
और अभी हमें ये आशा के एक किरण दिखाई पड़ रहा है कि मुझे कि हमें इंसाफ मिलेंगे, इंसाफ की तरफ कदम आगे जा पाएंगे. किसने मारा और क्यों मारा, ये हमें पता चलेगा. इसके लिए मैं हाई कोर्ट को शुक्रिया बोलना चाहती हूँ.
Right from day one, Faizan Ahmed's parents have alleged that it was a case of murder and a cover-up. IIT Kharagpur authorities have not responded to these allegations so far. But for a family that's lost a young and promising child to alleged ragging, finally, there's hope for justice with the High Court's order. With camera person G.D. Shankar in Kolkata, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
News from Uttarakhand now. The district administration in Purola in Uttarkashi district has refused permission to hold a Mahapanchayat over alleged love jihad cases. Now, prohibitory orders under section 144 have also been imposed and the local police undertook a flag march. Meanwhile, the petitioner against the Mahapanchayat has now moved the Uttarakhand High Court after the Supreme Court directions. That case will be heard tomorrow. Right-wing organizations called for a Mahapanchayat against the alleged abduction attempt of a minor girl by two men, one of whom was a Muslim. The Gevra coal mine in Chhattisgarh, currently the world's fourth largest coal mine, but now land across 7 villages is being acquired to make it the largest in the world. But this means displacing 1,000 families, and while promises over compensation and jobs is a huge concern for the locals, the villagers here are also suffering due to the pollution. Skin diseases and asthma are very common here. Anurag with this ground report.
The Gevra mines in Chhattisgarh, 193 kilometers from its capital Raipur, is currently the world's 4th largest coal mine. To be number 1, land across 7 villages will have to be acquired. Production in Gevra increased from 50 million tons to 70 million tons, and the production can be increased from 40 metric tons once land in Deepka is acquired a short distance away. But for this, over 1,000 families will be displaced from 7 villages to acquire 597 hectares of land. 1.45 acres of land belonging to Manuram Patel of Naraibodh village will be acquired. Manuram's is a family of 15 people. He wants employment for his 5 sons. Otherwise, he will not give the land. He says that he has not received any compensation so far either.
मुझे अभी कोई एक डिसमिल करने मिला है मुझे, और जो जमीन विभाजन किए हैं बच्चे लोगों को हम लोग दिए हैं 3 बच्चे को, तो उनको जुड़वाने के लिए बोल रहे हैं. तो मैं बोला कि नहीं जुड़वाऊंगा, जब तक मेरे 5 लड़कों को नौकरी नहीं मिलेगा तब तक मैं नहीं जुड़वाऊंगा.
A similar sentiment echoed by other people in the area.
खाता उतना नहीं है जैसे कि ड्यूटी दे पाए, नौकरी दे पाए, लेकिन जो SCCL के तहत में छोटा बड़ा कुछ भी काम है वो हम लोग को दे तब ठीक है.
Fears that land will be taken and adequate compensation not given are not entirely unfounded. Abid Muhammad of Chainpur says that in 1985-86, His land was acquired for rupees 3,200. He was to be given a job, but today at 59 years of age, he still has no stable source of livelihood.
85-86 वाले में गया था।
तो क्या समस्या आई इतने सालों में?
उसमें मेरे को 3200 कुछ रुपए मेरे को मुआवजा दिए और उसके बाद मेरे को पैसा दिए और मेरे द्वारा नामांकन भरा गया था। जो सबको नामांकन भरने के बाद नौकरी मिला, लेकिन मेरे नामांकन को पता नहीं लोग क्या किए, बस बिलासपुर फाइल गया है, आज गया कल गया करते 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 आज मैं बूढ़ा हो गया, 59 साल का।
The problem is not just compensation or jobs. The villagers here are also suffering from pollution, skin diseases and asthma are common. SECL has 4,184.486 hectares of land in Gujarat and 597.486 hectares of land is needed for expansion. The company says that till now they have given employment to more than 3,000 people, 160.33 as compensation.
जो लोग नौकरी नहीं लेना चाहते हैं, जो ग्रामीण, उनके लिए बहुत आकर्षक पैकेज तैयार किया गया है। मैं यह भी बताना चाहूँगा कि कोल इंडिया में ACCL एकमात्र ऐसी कंपनी है जिसने अपने इन 3 मेगा प्रोजेक्ट्स के लिए गत वर्ष मई माह के आसपास हमने एक विशेष जो है कंपनसेशन पैकेज अपनाया है, जिसमें कई एक मदों में, कई एक हेड्स में हम लोग दुगने से ज्यादा कंपनसेशन ऑफर कर रहे हैं। यह कोल इंडिया के किसी भी देश ही नहीं, मतलब कोल इंडिया के किसी भी अन्य सब्सिडरी कंपनियों में इतने आकर्षक नहीं है। जहां तक आप रोजगार के मामलों की या स्वीकृति की बात कर रहे हैं, पिछले साल हम लोगों ने 704 रोजगार स्वीकृत किए हैं ACCL ने। यह आंकड़ा जो है 10 वर्षों में सर्वाधिक का है।
To increase production, SECL is going to acquire land due to which thousands of villagers will be displaced. But with villagers not happy with the compensation, Gujarat is now a flashpoint for people's struggle against mining and land acquisition. With Zulfikar Ali and Anurag Dwari, Osama Shab for NDTV.
Now news from Rajasthan and news of a brawl involving officers. An IS officer and IPS officer are among 5 people suspended over a brawl that took place at a restaurant on the Jaipur-Ajmer highway. The fight, which took place late on Sunday night, captured on CCTV, and these videos have gone viral. And it shows people trading blows, throwing stones at one another. Now, according to the local reports, the officials were returning from a farewell party organized to celebrate the IPS officer's new posting, and they stopped at this restaurant needing to use the washroom. But when they asked the staff to open up, an altercation then broke out. In other news, market regulator Securities and Exchange Board of India has alleged that Zee founder Subhash Chandra and his son Puneet Goenka were involved in multiple frauds. The market regulator has accused them of siphoning off 200 crore. My colleague Sakshi Bajaj with the details.
A web of siphoning of funds, or simply put, a web of fund fraud? Well, SEBI explains just that. So while we know SL Group Chairman Subhash Chandra and Zee Entertainment Enterprises CEO Puneet Goenka have been barred from holding the position of a director or a key managerial position on the company board, what led to this and what's been the trail of funds? This web really is your answer to that. Now, first up, of course, what have been SEBI's key findings? As per SEBI, the key findings of the regulator, Subhash Chandra provided a letter of comfort in September 2018 towards credit facilities. Now, for all of those wondering, what does this mean? Simply put, a letter of comfort is a document assuring the financial soundness or backing of a company. It is based on this letter of comfort that Yes Bank adjusted a fixed deposit of rupees 200 crores of Zee Entertainment Enterprises for meeting obligations of 7 entities. Now, it is important to note here that these 7 entities were either owned or controlled by family members of Subhash Chandra and Puneet Goenka. As per SEBI's interim order, both Subhash Chandra and Puneet Goenka violated regulations by signing comfort letters on behalf of Zee Entertainment Enterprises without consulting or informing the Zee Entertainment Enterprises board. So let's decode the fund trail that SEBI has released. As we can see in this web of funds really originating from Zee Entertainment Enterprises Limited or other listed companies of the SL Group right there, these funds move through multiple layers really of entities. As you can see, web of fund fraud within web of fund fraud, and so therefore you can see this trail in multiple layers right here. Now, of course, this, as per the SEBI release, these entities were either owned or controlled by family members of Subhash Chandra or Puneet Goenka. It is also interesting to note here that this flow of funds that you see indicates no actual net receipt of funds by Zee Entertainment Enterprises and only shows book entries to portray receipt of funds. SEBI has in the interim order stated at least really 143.9 crores was transferred from Zee Entertainment Enterprises and other listed companies of SL Group to falsely portray repayment of due amounts to Zee Entertainment Enterprises from associate entities. The regulator has also said that this fund trail is under examination and the possibility of funds siphoned from Zee Entertainment or other listed companies of the SL Group cannot be ruled out. And to those wondering what happens to the Zee and Sony merger then, well, as per legal experts really, it is difficult for the bench to ignore allegations of financial fraud. As far as shareholders are concerned, they may raise questions as well.
I would think it would take a very brave bench in the NCLT to say we're going to ignore all of this and just stick by the rule that the majority has approved, and therefore we will not investigate any of this, or we will not allow anyone to talk about anything else. I think that would be a very brave decision. I don't think an NCLT bench would be so brave. Sony, if they want to continue with this or not. And they will have a challenge because their shareholders are going to be asking their board what diligence they did. Did they know all of this? If they didn't know all of this, then now that they know it, do they still recommend that the merger continues?
In other news, India is expected to witness an exodus of millionaires and may lose 6,500 high net worth individuals this year, according to a fresh report. And who's gaining here is Dubai and Singapore, which seem to be the preferred destinations. Let's go across to Priyanshi for more on that.
That's right, Gargi. 6,500 millionaires are set to leave India in 2023, according to a report by Henley Private Wealth, their migration report, which tracks migration trends globally. Now, the report says that India will be the second biggest loser of high net worth individuals in 2023 globally. China will see the highest migration, followed by India, while the United Kingdom will be the third biggest loser. The report also says that although India is the second biggest loser globally, our net migration figure is down from 7,500 last year. Our net outflow is down compared to last year. But why are these millionaires really leaving India? Number one, prohibitive tax legislation. And secondly, convoluted and complex rules relating to outbound remittances that are open to misinterpretation and abuse. Now, another important question, where are these millionaires really going? Dubai and Singapore are the most preferred destinations. Dubai is particularly attractive for its golden visa program, favorable tax environment and robust business ecosystem. Interestingly, the report also adds that these millionaires leaving is not particularly concerning, as India produces far more new millionaires than it loses to migration every year.